once again, welcome back on Earth. So, let me start with talking about one or two questions that came up in the comments recently of the different episodes. First of all, some people were asking for a mod list, and if you check the video description of this episode and any of the previous ones or future ones, I did now add, first of all, the link to my workshop, which contains currently only 2 points. One is a micro mod to modify jump drives to have a 0 distance for it, which is used in this series as well, just to disable basically their functionality without having to remove the block, so that existing ship designs can still be used, just with reduced functionality this way. And the other thing is the gravity scanner mod, which is showcased in one or two other videos on my channel, that allows you to basically look at a planet from space or a moon and get a distance information, how far away that is, where the gravity field of that planet or moon starts. And this is another mod that is used together with the jump gate mod. That is one thing. The other thing is a link to my mod collection that I'm using for this playthrough, or for this Let's Play series. But caution, it also contains the still unlisted jump gate mod. So it's a way to get access to it early on, but if you want to have a more, stable experience, because I'm still working on that mod, and it might be that I'm uploading a version that is causing a crash on load or has some side effects, I would recommend to get the collection and just disable that specific mod in your save file until I'm making a post with an official release. So, the mod is stable. There's still a couple of smaller things that I'm working on, especially the effects not being played back at the moment after my most recent changes, and balancing. And if I find the time, I will also add custom blocks for the frame and controller types. But anyway, everything else of the mod, of the playthrough and mod list is in there, so you should be able to have the more or less same experience. Only thing missing is still the customized PEM script. For that, I'm waiting for a reply from Xenex for being allowed to publish that officially. Otherwise, I will make that also an unlisted submission, and people can grab that from my workshop link. That's the one thing that I wanted to talk about. And the other thing was a question why I'm using And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was why I'm using air tightness on buildings on this Earth-like planet, especially like this mining facility here or the main base. And the answer is simple. Since the Apex Survival update, there can be severe weather effects like storms and something like that have flying debris that can hit you and cause you to get damage. And to my knowledge, and maybe something changed in the core systems update, but the only way to save yourself from getting hit by that debris and affected by the weather is to either sit in a cockpit or be in a pressurized room. So that's why I've added the air vent to the mining facility, as seen on the outside here. Just in case I need to go in there and need to do some maintenance, I don't want to get hit by debris while I'm in the building. The weather systems in SE1 are still pretty simple in their implementation, that the game can only really identify a closed room by air tightness and nothing else. And the only good thing here on Earth is that we can skip on having a dedicated oxygen tank and oxygen production. Like in this smaller building here, just an intake and outtake vent is enough. Although the base, I've noticed in other playthroughs, will benefit of having dedicated oxygen tanks if you have leaky airlocks that lose a little bit of air pressure every time you walk through them, as a buffer zone or a buffer for the oxygen that you're losing. But yeah, that's the main things I wanted to talk about. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm always happy to reply and give feedback. And also, if you have feedback for the series, like maybe something regarding the audio setup or something specific you would like to see more of, or where I might have cut away too much to shorten the playtime of the episodes that would have been interesting, please let me know. I'm still new to the whole recording and playthrough creation, so I'm happy for any feedback that I can get. And also, if you just like this series and like watching it and like watching me play and hearing me talk about all kinds of stupid things when playing Space Engineers, let me know. I'm happy for any kind of feedback, as mentioned. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It's a new channel. Can always use some more subscribers. And yeah, so the mining drone is doing its work. We just collected a little bit of more iron that we can use. And I also did some updates while off screen, but first of all, this is what we did last time. We, as you can see, built a larger and new solar array because the old one was too close to the base and was crashing to the building. We also started building a wind farm where I've now moved 2 of the wind turbines from the roof into that farm by finishing the turbine blocks. And for people that watched the previous episode, we had 9 turbines in total on that wind farm. I have removed all the middle ones except for the very center pillar, because in the meantime, while everything was guesswork last time, I read up how the windmills or wind turbines are actually working, and they need I think it was 5 or 8 blocks of space between them, and removing those middle turbines showed a very high improvement in power production. So I'm keeping the rest as it is. The lowest ones I will make a bit taller to match the right hand side version that is spinning there. But otherwise I will keep it as it is, because they already produce over 400 megawatts, I think, per windmill. And I'm pretty happy with that result for now. And then, as you can see now, I have finished parts of our garage. Also moved the docking port here to a different place, the connector, and park the vehicle. So what I did was, first of all, added a bunch of hangar doors, top and bottom, so that we can close off the whole building. We have interior lights now. I have finished some of the decorations, moved the LCD screen from the top of the O2 generator into this free slot that we had. There's also one thing that I can say about the scripts that I didn't do last time for the LCDs here with the goat sorter. When you use F to access it, like last time, you can, in this case, modify the different auto-crafting values, but if you hit K, like with any other screen, you get to the control panel, and in the control panel you can use the custom data to modify the look of all of that. So for example, this was set to false initially. I have now set it to use colored icons because we have mods active that colorize icons and the HUD, so that matches better. I've reduced the margin, that is basically the space between the content of the screen and the outer borders of the panel, and the font size so that we see a little bit more in one screen. Still not enough to have everything in one screen, but it's much better now. And yeah, you can change all kinds of settings this way. Now let me grab a bite. Then, what else? yeah, everything is welded up as mentioned. Spotlights are pretty useful to get everything lit up. I did add sensors, like one on top here at the top of the ceiling and one, yeah, at the top and one at the bottom of the ceiling blocks, which we will use to automate the hangar door open and closure, or open and closing. Hey, it's future me. So the configuration of all of the hangar door automation and opening and closing of them took way longer than I expected during the recording. So let me fast forward here to get to the end where I'm just testing a second try, where everything is working the way I wanted, and do what the episode was initially meant to be, a focus on building a new rover, so that we still have a bit of spare time to do a first exploration round or trip. And I will go into more detail of what I did to set up the doors in a later episode, or maybe at the end of the video, but for now let's skip over that part. What happens if we just entered? Did they also already start closing, or was it just because of the docking procedure? Yeah, they already start closing. But I think that is fine. Yeah. Alright, and then what we also need is a way to manually open them. So let's use a button panel like this. And just toggle them. Good. And once again, if we leave the room, the lights will turn off as well. Nice. Alright. That's something I wanted to have. Okay. Then, next up, I didn't change anything else on the base. Only welded up some more blocks here and there, I think. Mainly the roof, so that everything is now encapsulated here. And as mentioned, I welded up 2 of those windmills, or wind turbines. And the rest is still unchanged, which we will do in one of the future episodes, but that's not something for today. For today, I wanted to build a replacement for our rover here, for doing some more exploration and yeah, finding new things in the area. And yeah, for that, let's pick up some resources and get started. So as always, I start with filling up my inventory with interior plates and steel plates and a little bit of construction components, which is usually used for lamps, lights and so on. And mostly steel plates, and that should get us covered for all of the block types. And then, since we now have our ceiling light armor block, we should be able to simply place a couple of those upwards. Then we can reverse the piston. Set this to auto lock. Although auto lock, will it trigger too early? I don't know. Reverse. Get rid of a couple of blocks, and then we can start building from that, which looks funny because it's floating. And one more thing that I want to change, share inertia tensor on, because it will, even though it's a big piston or large piston, it shouldn't be much of a problem, but it will reduce any chance for swinging around of whatever is attached to it. Share inertia tensor option is something that you need to enable in your game world. It's usually off by default, so you won't have access to that. So make sure to enable it if you want to use it. It is useful in some cases, but it's also causing more havoc in others. So it's a bit of a learning curve involved how useful that is and in which situation it's useful to use. But yeah, so we have a starting point, and now let me think a little bit about what to do, and I think I will get started with that using fast forward. And yeah, once I'm satisfied with the result, I can explain a little bit what I did. Alright, so we got some basics here. We have a survival kit, a modular container for storage, event controller and timer block, which we will need, but I will get into that in a moment. Then action relay is always useful to send some information, and where is it? A ore detector and antenna. The battery I have placed right here, and then we have a piston, and of course cockpit and lights, and a bit of hydrogen just in case we need to resupply our jetpack. But yeah, the thing that we need here is a block that I don't have on my menu, my toolbar yet, and that is the Seismic Surveyor, which is a block from a mod, and which by now I think became quite well known and famous, but not everyone might know about that. This block is essentially oh wait, was orientation important? I'm not sure about that. I need to rotate that properly. Let's do that just in case. So this block will help us immensely at finding ores or deposits in the world. Essentially, it gives you a radar kind of radar view of your surroundings. I can never remember where the front of the block is. Maybe this. And now with the seismic surveyor, we need to... It's acting like a gear, like landing gear. It needs to be attached to the ground, locked in. Like this is the large grid version. Actually, this way around. And it needs to be locked to the ground to be usable. So my idea is basically to combine that with the piston and then lower it down to the ground to attach it. Alright, I think I'm happy with the design. So let's get everything welded up so that the interior is fully done, and then get to, well, putting a bit of plating here and there to make it look nice. Alright, I think I'm quite happy with what we have here, and as you can see it took a bit of back and forth, but I've decided to add a custom turret as well, and a custom turret controller above our small hydrogen tank here. Now we still need to configure that to try it out, so there's only one rotor and one hinge to be used and one camera for that. And the two autocannons at. And then let's see, where's our controller? Here. Control. The elevation is inverted. Custom turret controller. Elevation minus 18, so that is much better. We need to give it a lower limit and probably also an upper limit, but other than that, it seems to be working. And let's see, what would be our lower limit? Probably 0 degrees. Which is currently angle 2, so lower limit is 0. Yeah, we can't go below that now. We might support going a little bit lower. So let's say we allow to go to -2. That still doesn't hit anything. And actually, let me see, if we remove the camera, we can then use or stay in the external view. Ah, yeah, there's something that we are scrapping along that. So that should be removed. But yeah, I think, oh, even there I can see some sparks coming up. So we shouldn't go any lower than that. But yeah, I think that is fine. The maximum that we have is this kind of. So let's see, hinge is at 49. So let's say 48 just to be sure. And yeah, a bit of scraping and so on is involved on some of the sides, but it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, just that small detail at the backside I want to get rid of just to be sure we don't cause any issues here. And yeah, that is okay. Anything else? We have our surveyor at the backside now. We have our custom turret. I have also added a searchlight because, well, now we have the turret, but the searchlight is also an easy option to get. Where's control there? To get a movable, zoomable camera. And together with the light, of course, it's even better to check out different things in the distance. And other than that, I think I'm happy with the design. Let's get that thing turned around in a moment to connect to the base. Yeah, of course, that is an air leak. What else should it be? Okay, then let's try. If we slowly back up. Okay, that would work. Nice. That works. Now this rover is probably still in the sensor range. Let's back that up even further. Yes. It's closing. Now it's opening again because I'm getting near. So close that up again. And let's see if that fixes our air leak. It's closed. Scanning. Found leak. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. now the room is airtight. We're also not getting a lot of rain in here. There's still some rendering artifacts near glasses that show rain, but the majority of the room is now dry, which is nice. Okay, so I guess our rover is in a good shape to make its first rounds, but I've changed my mind and I still want to give it a bit of colorization, proper colorization, and maybe some more detailing, so be right back. Alright, I think I'm happy with the result. So we have a bit of a black and green mixture here. And well, that's not very well docked, but anyway. There's still a bit of configuration to be done, but I think I will just skip over that so that we can do what we hope for, which is to do a first small round of exploration, but just a bit sad that it's nighttime already, and that will make things a bit harder. So let me spool forward to a bit of configuration and then wait for the daylight to arrive, and then we can do a quick test round with our new rover. Okay, the configuration is finished. So what did I do? I first of all used an event controller to turn on and off all the systems of the rover when we are docked to the station, or with our docking, with our connector, we are connected to the station or something else. It will turn on and off all the lights and machines that we need on the go, but not inside of the base. It will also change our tanks to the refill option and batteries to recharge. And only the ore detector is manually powered. And on the second page, and also in our cockpit, I have configured the seismic survey device. So this is done with a set of different commands. First of all, scan, the scan operation itself. Then we have turning left for 45 degrees, 5 degrees, right 5, right 45, and then just for filling up the other parts, I have switch lock and toggle on off. And yeah, other than that, we have our battery here just to toggle the switch state. No, let's reconfigure that. And on the second page, we can then trigger now to engage and disengage our seismic timer. And one final thing that I forgot. We still have one event controller left. That is for the seismic. On the lock state of the seismic controller, we want to basically execute the scan so that we don't have to manually trigger that. Okay, and then this can be hidden again. And the piston we don't need to see. Now this can be hidden, this as well, and that. And we have only the action relay remaining, which we will use when the time is right. Alright, I think that's it. And with that, we are ready to do a first short round. But before that, it's still nighttime, so let me get into that, check on our mining drone, and wait until it's daylight again. Oh, that didn't take long. Alright. Then let's get going. Oh, I forgot something in the configuration of the garage. The opening of the doors when trying to exit. Still have a little bit of friction problems, so to configure those wheels properly. So let's give it more strength and more friction, maybe. Also, probably want to have more power. Interesting. It's the first time that I've used the laboratory O2H2 generator, and I didn't expect the bubbles of the particle effects to leave the enclosure. That is very unexpected. But yeah, it seems to be working. Although we don't have an endless amount of power. Maybe we can... Yeah, let's give it a little bit of ice.
Inventory full.
So that our motor can work and recharge our batteries. And yeah, let's head towards the desert and see what we can find. shit. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that could have been much more severe. So, learning number one is always look ahead and check for sudden drops in the terrain. That could have been much worse. At least it's only our lights that got removed. We don't have enough spare materials to rebuild them, but actually, did we lose anything that we can pick up again? No, we did not. But let's do a quick resource collection. Maybe we can produce enough through our survival kit to rebuild those missing parts.
Inventory full.
Yeah, if anyone has a tip how to properly handle rovers and control them, I'm always open for suggestions, because I'm not that good with rovers, to be honest. They always were kind of a pain for me to wrap my head around. So, survival kit. I think we can actually show it. So enable pull push, and we want to refine all the stone that we have, and then produce a bit of resources. Let's see, how far can we get in terms of our headlights? New construction components, not steel plates. Okay. We do need bulletproof glass after all. Okay. Alright, let's check. Any other damage? Doesn't look like it. Those are incomplete. Okay. Alright. Wow, that was a shocker. But yeah, we survived. So let's see, how can we get out of this hole? Maybe at the front here. This side. I'm not sure if we have maybe not enough weight to weight us down, but I don't want to lower the whole chassis much more, because otherwise we might scrape or scratch the bottom. But yeah, so far nothing in sight. I thought we might see an encounter at some point anywhere nearby, but no luck so far. Alright, then maybe as a final thing for this episode, I can showcase the seismic survey a little bit. So first of all, we engage that using our timer block. And once it's connected, it will initiate a scan, which should show up on those screens in a moment. is attached to the planet, so it should show something. Maybe I need to scan again. Oh yeah, so the scan didn't work automatically. Need to check on that. And yeah, like I mentioned, in the middle screen you can now see the scan result, which is all the different resources that are in that radar scope. But we need to change our scan orientation a little bit on the radar. And now you can see the 3 spikes will always tell you which kind of resource is in that deposit. So everything that hits all 3 spikes is in that place. So in this case, it's silicon. Now let's move further to the other end. And here we can find, well, what could that be? Iron. All right. So only those 2 deposits nearby. And as you can see, there's an indication of how big those deposits might be. And we can even, well, retract our sensor again, and it will stay on the screen and still show us what we have scanned last time. We can move around and drive around with that last radar information, which can be quite useful to reach that deposit. But yeah. Oh, there's a prospecting station nearby. TFPR. Then maybe let's head that way. Have a look-see from afar, if it is friendly or not. And then end the episode on that sighting and pay a visit to them, a proper visit next time. Because while we do have a turret on top, we don't have any ammunition so far, because we didn't encounter any magnesium. At least I can't remember seeing any magnesium so far. Did we have a GPS position for anything like that? Oh, we did. Okay, cobalt and magnesium. I think that was near our starting location. So let's see. Let's get close to this one and just check it out from afar. Yeah, it has defensive protocols, so it's similar to the other research outpost that we have near our base. It's probably not that friendly towards us when we get too close. But let's see how far we can get closer to it. How close we can get. Okay, leave immediately. It's not even on our radar or on our screen. Is it maybe behind that hill? Oh, that could be. So we couldn't even see anything. Must be behind that hill. So yeah, let's play it safe and get around that mountain and try to head home. So yeah, the rover is working. We still need to refine it a little bit or update some parameters, I guess, and also get us some magnesium for ammunition. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope I survived the way back home. See you next time. Bye bye.